For the past 2 weeks, I have been in Montreat, North Carolina, serving as the keynote speaker and leader for the Montreat Youth Conference, which means that I have been with over 1,300 high school students who represent very diverse churches from all over our denomination. We came together to unpack a theme of planting peace, which means how do we partner with God's hope for shalom, which is a complete completeness, not just for me, but for all people and for all things, even the people who disagree with me. How do we help each other lean into our completeness and work together to be a better representation of God's hope for our churches, for our communities, and for the world? I want to share with you 2 things that I gleaned from working with these youth from around the country. The first one is that the young people in our churches are very excited for a life of faith that has meaning and that has impact. They want to know what Jesus is calling them to do. How do they navigate hard relationships that they find in their friend circles? How do they make sure that they're on the right path of living into the full being that God has created them to be? They want a faith that is relevant, that gives them the tools to navigate through life. They do not have the same questions, issues, hang-ups that my generation and what I assume the generation above me might have had in the church. They want to follow Jesus authentically. The second one is around the question that all of our churches find themselves asking, it seems like all of the time. How do we get young people involved in our church? Well, the first posture we should take is one of listening, and listening with fully open ears, of zero judgment or expectation. What do the youth of our church and of our communities want to know about the divine? How do they want to encounter Jesus in their day-to-day life? Because it is going to look very different than it has before. They are facing different issues and problems and opportunities than any of us have ever faced before. So as we start to think about our fall programming in our churches, of starting our Sunday schools and our youth programs, let us first sit in a posture of listening to what they are asking for. And how do we then take our beautiful, rich tradition and interpret that with them so that they can journey on a life of faith and eventually become the leaders that will help all of us get closer to our living God.